Yondu dies. All right.
What?
Welcome to a new show called Pass or Shaft. And we've technically already done this, but not with movies. We did this with VGT, or Video Game Tales, where we would literally look through clips and say if it passed or shaft. And I thought, you know what, that'd be funny if we decided to watch a movie and then review it ourselves and what we thought about it. You know, I know Sam does these reviews on Facebook and stuff all the time, and I just say, it's good, or it's bad. So we decided we're going to review a movie, come together with our consensus, and say if it's a pass, as in it's good, you should watch it, or a shaft, which is a censor bar saying you should not see it at all, or you should save your money for something more important, like anything else. And so
like dollar deals.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the basic rule is it's going to be 4 minutes. It's literally 4 minutes of us talking half and half each. Mm-hmm. And this is perfect time if something comes up where we want to specifically do a certain way, like this one. I wanted to do for Sam, since he already posted a review on Facebook before we actually did this thing.
It's been negative.
I'm going to challenge his review in two ways, where I agree with one thing a lot and I disagree with the other thing a lot, and then he has a chance to.
Well, it's only like 2-3 paragraphs, so but shout away.
It's only 2 things I completely 100% agree with, and the rest is pretty much yeah. So I guess I'll start with, and once I press 4, it's going, and then basically you counter. Yeah. Then I start with the second one, you counter that as well. Okay. And then we end up coming with a consensus, and we give it an additional award if it deserves it. Whether it's, we'll come up with these awards along the way.
On the spot, yeah.
We'll eventually keep them going forever. Ready, set, go. Okay, so the first thing I completely agree with you, I'll start with agree first, is the journey is indeed not as satisfying as the first film.
Oh, I'm glad that's the one you agree with.
Yes, completely. Because, you agree, you go to one planet.
It's not a big space adventure.
You go there for like half the movie is on one planet.
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but with the Guardians...
Not. But, with Guardians 1, you go to all these cool places and you see more of the galaxy and not just
more creativity is shown.
You don't just see Which
is one good aspect.
You don't see that sovereign citizen crap and all those other junk. But, I mean, Ego's planet is pretty cool, don't get me wrong.
Exactly. But then at the end of the day, you're not here for these locations, really. You're here for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. You're here for these characters. And they're still awesome in this sequel anyway, so you're going to get what you paid for either way.
The journey of having, everyone together, they weren't together for most of the time.
Exactly.
Until the very end, groups. So,
yeah.
And, I think that's a really good way to, have relationships work well together. And, despite the journey not being as strong, I feel like the character relations, though, were also a lot better in this movie. Like, a lot better. Like, you have the dialogue between, the bonding between who's leader with, Rocket or Star-Lord or Peter Quill. The relationship between, Gamora and Peter, and then just Drax being Drax.
Yeah, I think Drax was far more developed in this one.
I am so glad he was so much more funny.
Yeah.
But also, I like the part with Mantis where him and her talk, and you can see, he's kind of gotten over the fact that his family's gone. He's trying to live a normal life as best he can and make jokes. And I think the best relationship was definitely between Yondu and Peter. Yondu, I think Yondu was the star of this entire movie.
Yeah, maybe because I've forgotten about the first film and what contributes to he made it there, but he definitely made his mark in this one. Not just for the obvious reason, but he's definitely more developed.
Now the poster child for this movie alone. He really did shine up.
Exactly.
And so on to the second one, I completely disagree with.
Okay.
You said Ego is just the villain who is bad because he's bad. I disagree 100%.
Did I say that?
Yes, in your review you say he's just a bad guy for being bad.
Okay. Can I defend myself?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I didn't expect him to be the bad guy at first, because he's charismatic,
Well, Trevor Russell too.
Exactly. But here's a problem that most in the Marvel universe, this is a problem that most villains have, is that at the end of the day, what's his plan really at the end of the day, and how does he react to this within, say in the last third, he's just generic villain, where's all his charisma gone?
I feel like, aside from Kurt Russell putting on a great performance as well.
I mean, yeah, it's not a bad performance, but what's his motive?
I feel like after watching it twice, this is probably a nitpicking part, is, imagine an expansion or a planet where there's no pain. Remember when he got upset that his mother was in pain? She was dying, even though he caused it. That's true. Those are mortals. They suffer a lot. Trust me, we all suffer a lot, physically, mentally. So imagine an entire expansion, a place where it's it's equal, where you're not going to suffer.
Yeah. Okay. So outside of two things in the last fight when he's revealed, like when he revealed that he's the one who gave the mother the cancer, and him destroying Alpha Mix Volume
That
2.
was a blow, man.
Yeah.
That was dark.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But aside from that, what else has he done to be like all really threatening?
Well,
Aside from being a
well,
really
I
bad
said
guy.
like he's not supposed to be a threatening villain, not like the other guy from
No,
the first one,
I don't
but
know.
he just hits you out of nowhere. He's
I
like
know.
a semi-truck. I feel like his motives can be justified in some way, where he's
Oh,
like
I know.
trying to find a better universe that's better, so there's no suffering.
Of
But in
course.
the end, he's willing to kill billions of people to accomplish that.
Oh, I can understand that. I guess it's from a selfish point of view, like, we want a really, like, good villain compared to
He
Loki.
requires a lot of analysis versus the first villain. The first one, he's just like,
Yeah, he's just-
no.
Oh, we're done. We're done.
Ah,
we're done.
damn.
Sorry, we
Alright.
can't talk about what's his face from the first movie, but okay.
But we know.
Clearly, we really like this film, so...
Yes, so what is the verdict? That's a pass. Come on.
Pass,
You knew this from the
obviously.
very beginning. I just feel like the
Yeah.
action scenes, Yondu just getting his hole in
Yeah.
spot and dying. Ego, it may take more analyzing as a villain, whether you see his motives or not.
Mhm.
And just the relationships work a lot well together. It may not be a better journey or a better story, but the characters got a lot more,
Yeah.
flair to them. And I feel like Kurt
It
Russell being Kurt Russell and all the comedic jokes with the cameos. Come on.
Yeah. I
called in the theater with him. I turned to my brother and said, "Hey, I bet you $1,000,000 they're gonna have a David Hasselhoff, and he's gonna be in there." And then he comes out of nowhere. I called it to my brother. He literally
And
knuckled
you
me.
know what? I have to say this as well, because I watched a video that was posted yesterday on the top 5 best Stan Lee cameos. Can
yeah.
you agree that would be
I
number
think
one?
that one be number 1 or number
Yeah,
2. I think number
for
1 might be
sure.
Amazing Spider-Man with the library. That was just
Yeah,
so good.
I can see that too.
But anyway, yeah, I think this movie passes on a global scale.
Any additional awards
If
you
you
want?
love any Marvel movie, it's passed unless it's Fantastic Four. And so we're gonna give out an additional award. We call this the Golden Kurt Russell Award.
He's calling it that.
Basically, it's just gonna be Kurt Russell's golden, and maybe a little,
Yeah.
maybe one sparkle. And basically, it's an award given to just a badass film, just a movie that you're not going to not hate. You're not gonna hate it. You're gonna enjoy it to its beginning to the end, no matter
you know what
what.
you're walking into, so
Even
but
if
you're
you're-
gonna enjoy it either way.
There's no way you cannot enjoy it. In your review, you said there's no way you're not gonna enjoy this
Yeah.
movie. You have to.
More or less.
Well, until we see another film, until Guardians 3 comes out. First, it's gonna be, I think, Infinity War, right? I think.
What, next year? When
Yeah.
will we see the next? Yes.
Yeah, which
That's
is gonna be
been
like
confirmed.
everybody. So maybe we'll check out that film.
Maybe what's going on?
More
That-
like we are checking.
we
it
have
out.
to by
We have to.
contract. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a
I'll
gun.
definitely do that over
They
the
have a
DC
gun against my
universe.
head.
That's
Well-
another topic for another time. Anyway,
See you next time.
Spanish goodbye. Did we forget to mention why we're wearing the hats?
No,
Okay.
before swear.
Bye.